Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much for watching this 4-H portfolio training. My name is Kelsey Romney. I'm from the State 4-H office and I'm excited to be here tonight with Jesse and Megan. We're going to talk a little bit about what the 4-H portfolio is and how it applies to you in the 4-H horse program. So first of all, the 4-H portfolio is a combination of a resume and a cover letter. And the reason that we do 4-H portfolios is for a number of reasons. But from a 4-H perspective, it is the standard application tool for all leadership activities. It leads to national opportunities. We have often county awards nights and portfolio contests. This is the first application that you need to complete in order to become a 4-H state ambassador. And we have the state 4-H portfolio contest as well. From a practical application, 4-H portfolios are teaching you how to write a resume and cover letter, which are going to be extremely useful for your future. The things that are most important for you that this will apply to is the job applications, college applications, scholarship applications, and leadership positions beyond 4-H. So as you can see here with these graphs, it's really important to see that 4-Hers are already reporting that they will use this tool for their future. 98% that they reported that they will use their 4-H portfolio to apply for jobs. 96% said that they'll use these skills to apply for scholarships. 81% said that they'll use these skills to apply for leadership positions, and 93% said that they will use these skills to apply for college. So we're hoping that what you're learning today is going to be extremely useful for you moving forward. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what the 4-H portfolio actually is. And the first part is we're going to kind of work in reverse. We're going to talk about the 4-H resume first. The resume is a cumulative summary of your experience in 4-H and your background. So just like you would tailor a real resume to whatever job you're applying for, the 4-H resume should be tailored to your 4-H experience. Most of the whole content of the resume should be all about 4-H. There's one portion that we'll talk about on the rubrics later. One portion is designated for your non-4-H experience. So if you have anything really exciting that you want to throw into that section, that's great. But for the most part, it's all 4-H stuff. The sections that we can talk about a little bit more specifically are project involvement, 4-H activities and experiences, 4-H awards and recognition, 4-H leadership, and 4-H community service. It's important to notice that each one of these sections are actually worth different amounts. So they're weighted differently on your resume or on your rubric. So if you want to score really high, you want to put more content in the sections that are have more points associated with them. And then each year you'll want to update your information and maintain the most important pieces in the resume while maybe dropping some of the things that are less important to you. Like we said at the beginning, this is cumulative. So you want to make this represent your whole experience just on the 2-page maximum. Okay. Here are some sample resumes that we wanted to share with you. The important part to notice is that you're welcome to use any template you can find or come up with your own. We don't expect there to be a perfect standard of what they should all look like. It should look like you professionally on a piece of paper. If you need help, if you're not quite so graphically inclined, then go ahead and check out any resume rubric or template, I should say, that you can find in Google, on Word, on all different platforms. There's a lot of resume templates out there, and we have a couple that we can share with you as well. We'll drop it in the description on this video. There are a few templates on Google Docs that you can click on and start filling out your 4-H experience. Just make sure to make it your own. Change the colors, change the font, change the content, all those things so that it displays your experience. These examples right here, I hope you can see there's some major differences in the formatting. Some of them use more design, some of them use different colors. Keep that in mind as you make your own resume. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about the cover letter. So the cover letter actually is the first part that an employer would read when you're applying for a job. And the cover letter should be 1 page long. There's a standard format for a cover letter. So if you haven't seen that or you aren't familiar with that, make sure that you notice what that is before you start writing. And it should be a narrative to accompany your resume. So if you think about the resume as a bunch of bricks that you're laying about your experience, the cover letter is kind of the cement that holds it all together. So you want to be sure to explain things that are not already listed in your resume. You want to talk about the skills that you've acquired, the experiences you've had, those types of things. It's your chance to explain what you've listed on your resume. So the other part of the cover letter is that just like the resume, it should be tailored to the application that you're applying for. In 4-H, we make this really easy because we list the objectives that we want you to state. I'll show you these objectives right here for the horse project. So make it really easy for the judges and specifically address each one of these different objectives. As you can see, there's 4 of them. I would recommend writing 4 paragraphs, each paragraph addressing each objective, so it's very simple for them to read and look at. From a real world application, when you go to apply for a job, it's a little bit more difficult because they often don't list the objectives they're looking for in a candidate. So it's up to you to read the job responsibilities and sift out those objectives and sift out which ones you're going to address. But we want you to learn those skills here in 4-H and practice how to clearly communicate how your experience matches what those employers are looking for. So that's what we're trying to help you learn by writing a cover letter. Okay, here's a cover letter example, and you can see the formatting here this way as well. Some important tips to keep in mind when you're writing a cover letter is that you want to maintain a professional language. So often people will use this to write kind of their 4-H story, or maybe write it as it would sound like as a public speech. And that's a different type of language. So if you're just starting out, do your best, get help, and always have someone review what you have written. But if this is maybe your second or third or fourth time writing a cover letter, make sure that you're elevating that content as best you can to summarize it into really professional language. You don't need it to be miles and miles long. This is on the long side, this example that I'm showing you here. This is a longer cover letter. So just keep that in mind. You have a 1-page limit when you write the cover letter for these contests. And then also just make sure that you include your signature at the bottom. If it's a digital submission, which all of our 4-H contests probably are, make sure that you check with your contest. But if it's a digital submission, you can use a digital signature. So don't worry about having to print out, sign your document, and re-upload it. I know that can be kind of a headache, but a digital signature is acceptable. And then, like I said before, just make sure that you have someone else review it. Always, 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 no matter what you are applying for, have someone review your cover letter, because the chances are high that you've made at least one error, whether it's just a typo or a grammatical error or anything. Make sure you have someone review the content. This is your chance to put your best foot forward in any scenario. So whether you're applying for a 4-H contest or you're applying for a job or all those other opportunities that we talked about before, make sure that you're making the best impression you can. And this is your chance to do so. So keep that in mind when you're writing your cover letter. Okay, I want to just talk to you quickly about the rubrics that we have. So both the resume and the cover letter are out of 100 points total. If you receive a blue ribbon in total on both documents combined, that means that whoever scored your portfolio, whatever judge looked at your portfolio, would interview you for a position. So that's the real world application for this, and that's how you know you are on the right track. If you do a red, you probably just forgot a section, or you just need a little bit more help on some things. So just keep working at it. And if you receive a white, that's okay. It just helps you set goals for the future and helps you see where you can improve. As our 4-H motto goes, of course, we're all about making the best better. So whether you're the best in the class, or maybe you need a lot of improvement, everyone should be receiving feedback, especially if you enter the state portfolio contest, but everyone will be receiving feedback from the judges on how you can do better. So just keep that in mind as well. And that's the same thing for the rubric for the cover letter. So now I just want to show you the link to, this is the link to our portfolio page. And this is what that page looks like on our home screen on utah4h.org. So you can see that we have this right here. This is under more opportunities. So if you go to our homepage on Utah 4-H and then you scroll all the way to the bottom, I'll show you right now. Scroll all the way to the bottom, click more opportunities and portfolio. That's the fastest way to get to this page. And this has just more information for you if you need to read more about the fine print. If you need more examples, we have examples down here. We have a guidebook, all sorts of things that can help you, and the rubrics. So you can check those out. The other important piece is the cover letter objectives. So for you who are in the horse project, you can click right here and it will show you these objectives again. So you can access those at any time. And then if you're entering any other 4-H portfolio contests, just know that these are all right here and the objectives are unique for each contest. So you want to make sure that you are looking those up every time you enter a 4-H contest, 4-H portfolio contest. Okay? Okay. That's our page, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching this again, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me or Jesse or Megan, and we would be happy to help you out. Thanks.